Okay, so ready to dive into the world of leather goods production.
Let's do it. Those production lines won't supervise themselves.
We've got our career guides and interview prep tips all lined up. You aiming for that supervisor role. We're here to help you nail that interview.
It's a fast-paced world, high responsibility. You really got to know your stuff. We're talking quality control, team management, the whole 9 yards.
And those interview questions, they're going to put you through your paces. But that's what this deep dive is all about.
We're going to break it all down. What are they really asking? What are they looking for in a top candidate?
Exactly. So picture this. You're in the hot seat. The interviewer leans back and asks, "Tell us about your experience in leather goods production." Sounds simple enough, right?
Right. But it's deeper than that. They want to see that you understand the industry, not just the finished product.
They're looking for that hands-on knowledge.
Exactly. Have you worked with leather, managed production, even just a deep-seated interest in how it all comes together?
So let's say you're just starting out. Maybe don't have a ton of direct experience yet. What then?
That's where you highlight those transferable skills.
Connect the dots for them.
Right. Did you work in a fast-paced production environment before? Maybe not leather goods, but something that shows you can handle the heat. Any relevant courses or workshops, even just a genuine passion for leather work.
It all adds up.
Absolutely. And this is where RoleCatcher can be a game changer. Imagine uploading your resume and the job description. Boom. RoleCatcher's AI goes to work analyzing both, finding those little gaps and helping you tweak your answers to really impress.
That's incredibly helpful. Okay, next question. Ready for this one. How would you ensure the quality of the leather goods produced under your supervision?
Oh, quality control. Huge in this industry. They want to hear about your attention to detail, that you understand quality standards inside and out.
Inspections, testing?
The whole shebang. You could even mention specific grading systems for leather, like the J.A. Hank system, to really show off your knowledge.
It's not enough to just say, "I'll make sure everything is good."
Right.
You need a system. You need to prove it.
100%. Talk about specific quality control processes you've used. For example, you could say, in my previous role, I actually implemented a 3-point inspection system at critical stages of production.
It's a lot better than just a vague promise.
It shows them you're proactive about quality, that you're not just checking boxes, you're setting the bar high.
Because at the end of the day, quality is everything in this business.
It's what builds a brand's reputation, keeps customers happy, and keeps those orders coming in.
Absolutely. Okay, ready for a question that often throws people off.
Hit me.
Describe a time you had to resolve a conflict within your team.
The dreaded conflict resolution question. It's classic.
It could be a tough one, for sure. I mean, should you even admit to there ever being a conflict?
Honesty is key, but it's all in how you frame it. You want to focus on solutions, not dwell on the problem. Use the STAR method: situation, task, action, result.
So give them the context, what your role was, the action you took, and the outcome.
Exactly. Choose an example that highlights your leadership, your ability to listen, mediate, and find a solution that works for everyone.
So instead of saying, "I never had any conflicts," you could say, "Once I had 2 team members who disagreed on."
Perfect. Show them you can handle the heat and bring people together. Conflict is natural, but how you manage it, that's what sets you apart. And you know what's interesting? RoleCatcher highlights social perceptiveness as a key skill. Being able to read the room, understand what makes your team tick.
It's like having emotional intelligence, right? Speaking of reading the situation, how about this interview question? How do you prioritize tasks and manage your time, especially in a production environment where things move fast?
Oh, absolutely. They want to know you can handle the pressure. A rush order comes in, deadlines are looming. You don't just crumble.
So how do you answer that? Should you talk about your love of color-coded spreadsheets?
It's less about the tools and more about your process.
Show them you have a system.
Right. Maybe you use that Eisenhower matrix, urgent versus important. Or you break down big projects into smaller chunks. Whatever works, make it clear.
When I'm faced with a tight deadline, I use a Gantt chart. Delegate tasks effectively, and we meet that deadline without sacrificing quality. Something like that.
Nailed it. System, prioritization, handling pressure. That's what they want to hear.
Okay, shifting gears a bit. Safety. It's obviously crucial, and I'm sure interviewers want to know you're on top of it.
Huge. Absolutely paramount. We're talking about people's well-being here, especially with the machinery involved in leather work.
So it's not just about enforcing the rules. It's about creating that culture of safety. How do you convey that in an interview?
Be specific. Don't just say, "I'll make sure everyone follows the rules." Talk about your experience implementing safety protocols.
Give them an example.
Exactly. In my previous role, I noticed a potential hazard with, and then explain what you did about it. Bonus points if you can quantify the impact. We saw a 15% reduction in incidents after implementing the system. Data speaks volumes.
Love that. Okay, now for a question that's all about leadership. How do you motivate your team to meet production targets?
This is where you showcase that leadership style. It's about understanding what makes people tick.
So not just those cheesy motivational posters.
Right. Some people are driven by recognition, others by opportunities to learn. A good leader taps into those individual motivators.
It's about empowering your team.
Exactly. You could say something like, I believe in clear goals, regular feedback, and recognizing achievements. Open communication is key, and I always encourage professional development.
RoleCatcher can help tailor those answers too, right?
Absolutely. It analyzes those keywords in the job description and helps you focus your response.
It's like having an interview coach in your pocket. Okay, ready for another question?
Bring it on.
Can you give an example of a successful project you've managed? Seems straightforward, but what are they really after?
They want to see your experience in action. Choose a project relevant to the role, one that highlights those key skills.
So leading a project to improve efficiency in a fast-paced production environment? That'd be a good one.
Perfect. Use that STAR method again. What were the goals, your role, the actions you took, and the positive results? Did you streamline processes, reduce waste, increase those production numbers? Numbers speak.
They want proof. Okay, let's talk about the future. How do you stay up to date with industry trends and new technologies? The leather goods industry is always evolving.
It's about demonstrating that passion for the industry.
Staying ahead of the curve.
Exactly. New technologies, materials, you name it. This is where you show them you're hungry for knowledge, eager to innovate.
So should you mention specific industry journals, conferences, even online forums?
Absolutely. And don't forget those new technologies. CAD software, automated systems, anything relevant to modern leather goods production.
Show them you're adaptable, ready to embrace the future of manufacturing.
Okay, one last question for this part. Tell me about a time you had to make a difficult decision related to production or quality control. Yes, the tell me about a time you faced a challenge question. A classic.
They want to see how you think under pressure.
Exactly. Choose a situation where you had to weigh different factors, no easy answers, explain the options, why you chose what you did.
And own the outcome, whether it was a success story or a learning experience.
Accountability is key. It shows them you're willing to learn and grow from your decisions.
It's all about those learning moments.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. How do you develop and maintain relationships with suppliers and vendors? I mean, that's got to be essential, right? Getting those materials, the leather, the hardware.
Absolutely. Can't make high-quality goods without high-quality materials. This question really gets at collaboration, communication.
Building those relationships.
Exactly. It's a partnership. So when you answer this, talk about your approach. How do you build that rapport?
What do you prioritize?
Yeah. Open communication, regular check-ins. Are you good at negotiating prices, making sure those deliveries are on time? And here's the big one. How do you handle disagreements? Because let's face it, they're gonna happen.
Things come up. Delays, shortages.
Right. So be ready with an example. How did you navigate a tricky situation with a supplier? Did you have to get creative to solve delay, negotiate a better price when materials were scarce? Show them you can handle those curveballs and still keep those relationships strong.
Because it's not just about managing a production line, it's about managing those relationships too.
Exactly. And again, this goes back to those soft skills. RoleCatcher's analysis consistently shows communication, negotiation, conflict resolution. Those are all just as important as knowing the technical stuff.
It's that balance that makes a great leader in this industry. Well, there you have it. We've unpacked those interview questions, dug into what it really takes to be a leather goods production supervisor.
And hopefully giving you the confidence to go out there and crush that interview.
Don't forget, RoleCatcher has your back every step of the way. From fine-tuning your resume to practicing your answers, you've got this.